beautiful indeed. Yes, it's a lovely morning. Sun is shining and outside looks so beautiful. And I should be on my way to the airport. I want to move from Abuja to Lagos right now, so we're just waiting for our flight. We just checked in. We're about to go on board. It's just like, it seems as if our flight is kind of getting delayed, but we're currently running up $4,000, as you guys can see, in profit. So remember, we held these trades over the weekend, and I gave a stop loss on gold for the inner circle in profit, right? So the market has retraced down to that level and it has taken out our gold position. So currently the inner circle does not have any trade that is running right now, right? So that is one thing to take note of. On the Bitcoin chart, though, we do expect the market to keep going up to the top. The spike that it had when the market opened was really good. I think even USD also. Yes, I think USD opened with a gap, just a tiny little gap, and then the market has already succeeded in closing it. Gold at the same time also opened with a gap. All right, so I'm about to look for an entry. You can see there, right? Yes, right there on our gold chart. I want to look for an entry so that we can trade the market up to the top to go and close that particular gap that we have. But then that's said and done. I don't know, we're supposed to be taking off in the next 5 minutes, but we haven't started boarding. So we just came to chill in the lounge right now. Our flight got delayed, but this is more interesting. This is what is happening. We're also waiting for our flight. I think it should be coming in the next 1 hour something. So yeah, we're just waiting. Bacha is in 2 minutes and we're just going on the bus. Okay, we are boarding now, you guys. We literally arrived right now in Lagos and I legit have a live session right now. So, I have a live session right now. Okay, I was watching this on the plane. I need to connect to internet. Let me just check what the market is doing. But then, like, I have a live session right now and I'm about to just jump onto that with the Platinum group. That means that I have to do this live session whilst we are actually going to where we will be staying. So that's really crazy, but anyway, yeah. And just for the record, Lagos is very hot. Okay, you guys, I just actually remembered I gave a signal in the inner circle right now and I'm just checking it. I've just updated them that we've hit our first take profit. Funny thing is, oh, this is the free channel, right? This is the inner circle, right? Look at that. I gave the signal like at 12:30, so it's almost 3 hours ago, and we have hit our first take profit. Let me just pull up the Telegram channel so that you guys can see. So obviously I always send with the setup, so this is the setup that you guys are seeing right over there. Okay, forgive the phone if it is shaky, so because we are moving, right? So that was a setup right over there. That was an excellent movement. So we're actually targeting this level right over here to break out of that area and then to move up to the top. That is the quick update. I want to see if I did take it on other different accounts. Let me see how much that is. Oh, I never took it. I was already in an existing trade on this account. You guys already know that, right? Yes, right now the gold trade has gone back up to the top, so that is a good thing. It is 3:30, yes, and we will start this session.
Confession, no. Lately I've been having questions, oh. See, I've been missing your.
Let's go home. Good morning, beautiful traders. How you guys doing? Okay, so what is interesting for today? It's a beautiful Tuesday. What is interesting for today? What is interesting for today is you can see what's already happening there. Take a close look and see what you notice. I am in a selling trade. Are you seeing that? I am in a selling trade on US 100, and it has been going pretty well so far. I mean, we had plus, it was running plus $1,700 profit. So obviously I'm not going to close it. I'm risking $2,500 for this trade. So it should give me way over that. So I can't just like run away from the trade, right? So I am expecting a retracement simply because we got to a zone where I know a lot of retail traders are jumping into buying positions because it was a support zone. So it was more of liquidity. And right at that spot, right at that spot, I entered into a buying trade. If you notice, that is right at a spot that retail traders are actually going into buying positions. I entered into a sell. So that is exactly what is happening. We do still have our gold trade running pretty much in good profit. We have also USD that is still pushing up to the top. Oh, you guys, also Bitcoin. I just closed off the Bitcoin trade. You can see that I had a trail stop in profit around $2,000 there. That trade is also out. But we are out here in Nigeria. We're having a good time, absolutely good time. Yesterday I tried out some Nigerian food. It was so spicy, it had a lot of fish, and my stomach right now is kind of like complaining, so I am taking it easy. I haven't had anything to eat right now, so we're trying to look for a place to go and find, if we can find like, you know, some good food to tone down my stomach, because but anyway, it is what it is. Right now we're just waiting for, waiting for the New York station to open. It is going to open in a few minutes. We did hit our second take profit in a few hours, not minutes. We hit our second take profit with the inner circle yesterday on the trade that I had given them on gold. Yes, sir. Remember, we had a trade on gold that we hit TP2, but I was sleeping when the market did that, and right now the market has pulled back. It is kind of like retracing on gold. So yeah, we're pretty much back to around TP1. Let's see if we are able to push right back up to the top and yeah, make the most out of this particular trade. Okay, you guys, you can see how NASDAQ is just tanking down. Just look at that. This is just like after New York open, and you can see how it has just fallen. So as soon as I get home, I'm going to explain to you guys the setup, but I've already shifted my stop loss. As you can see, my stop loss is right over there now. But absolutely beautiful trade on the NASDAQ. That is a good call that we had right over there. Alright, you guys, you can see it's just roughly an hour later, and we are out of our NASDAQ trade. Close it off with around $3,700 right over there. And right now, this is what we're having running in profit. Remaining is the US30 and the gold trade. US30, which is looking very good. So we started to have a retracement on NASDAQ. Let me see. Yeah, you see, we started to have a little retracement right over there on NASDAQ. And like they say, a good dancer knows when to leave the stage, right? So when I saw the buyer stepping into the market right over there with just a big bullish momentum candlestick, you guys can see it right over there. Then I jumped right out of the trade because of that. So that was a very excellent trade. Took advantage of the retail traders. Obviously, everyone was placing buying trades there. Their stop losses got knocked out, and we made some money. So the US30 trade, I also was in a US30 trade. You guys saw it, right? The market retraced. I was also in a US30 trade, and the market retraced and took us out at $500. I had my stop loss at break even on that particular trade, and then I entered again because the setup was still valid. So that is the one that you're seeing that just went in. That's right. That's running around $5,000 here because I was very quick to think. I saw that the setup was still valid. The market was just doing its normal retracement. Then I jumped right into the trade. Right now we are coming from, that is Echo Atlantic, right? And we're going to one, I don't know what the place is called, but then we're going to have a tennis match right now. And yeah, we're just going to play for a few hours, maybe 1 hour or 2. Then we'll call it a night. But yeah, that's about it. Let's go. What is up, you guys? Okay. Yo, why do I look like I'm sweating? I am actually not sweating, you guys. This is like my skin. Okay, so Lagos is actually really hot. I think this is like one of the hottest cities, if it's not the hottest in Africa, right? So let me just put you guys here and let's have a little chit chat whilst I'm waiting for the other guys to come. Let me see. Let's just focus. We have only had one single trade in the inner circle so far. And, you know, I am trying to look for another trade for specifically the inner circle, right? Because they need a trade. These guys absolutely need a trade. But we had a trade on gold and then it went up to TP1 and TP2. Then it retraced. So we got to, I think I'll put it up over here. We got to this certain resistance. Remember, guys, whenever the market gets to a resistance level, the market is either going to break out of that resistance or it's going to retrace back, right? So it has retraced back and it's almost at our entry point. So what I always tell or advise the inner circle is whenever we hit our first and our second take profit, we normally want to take our stop loss and put it at break even. So since it has gone back down like this, I am guessing that everyone who has read and is following the rules has been taken out officially off this trade on gold. But then it has started going back up. But I am still in the trade on my other prop firm accounts. Remember, I am not trading one single account. So it is a beautiful day right now. I am super hungry, but I am not in for any Nigerian food today for my own taste, right? I don't really like a lot of spicy food like that. So I'm going to try and make something to eat today at home. I don't know what it is, maybe veggies and meat and rice, you know, something very simple so I can just eat because I am actually starving right now. Pretty much it for my day. Nothing really, you know, out of the ordinary that is happening. We're just having a good time here, meeting up with a lot of other guys, right? So it is actually quite fun. So after we eat, I'm just going to go out. You guys already know that I have a new hobby, right? I am now playing tennis, right? So I need to look for a really good chill spot that I can register and play tennis here in Lagos. We are no longer in Abuja, right? You guys know that. In Abuja, they had a really nice tennis court at that Transcorp hotel. That place is like so nice. If you live in Abuja, you know what I'm talking about. I think it's one of the best hotels that you guys have, right? That Transcorp hotel, that is a really beautiful place. So they had a nice tennis court also. We played really nice games there. And then now I need to locate a good place in Lagos where they are actually playing. But I called another place and they said that I need to have a membership and stuff like that, all of those things, and it takes like 2 weeks for them to approve it, and you know, it's just a long hustle. We can't really do that. So I'm looking for a place that is going to be readily available. Then we can go there and play some tennis. I'm actually enjoying the sport. I also need to get my hair done, but then that is going to be for, I don't know. But for now, let's go and cook something.
Hearing you play in the evenings. Watch you sing in church on a Sunday.
It's a beautiful Friday and the market is going to close obviously today. We already know that. We took a loss yesterday on gold. I gave a gold signal again. Remember, we only had one gold trade from Monday, which we had the first and our second take profit hit. Then the market hit that resistance zone and it retraced. So it was almost pretty much at break even yesterday when I gave the inner circle a go ahead to jump into the trade again. Right, almost the same stop loss. So that one, it just caused the market to actually move. Like finally, you know, gold was not moving. It was totally ranging, and when we entered into the trade, then it finally started to move. So it tanked right back down and it took us out with a loss. I was risking $500 on 2 trades, so I lost $1,000 on that particular trade. So this is the trade that you guys are seeing right over here. So this was where we entered. I was having this resistance zone. Then the tricky part about this thing, right, is I was actually talking about how the market was ranging here. So after I noticed this range, right, and since we already had a bullish bias where the buyers had already stepped into the market, I anticipated that they would break out of the range to the upside, which was not such a good move. I should have really waited for them to break out. As you see, they broke out to the downside and then they already just shut down. But then I was just basing the entire analysis on this first analysis that we had, which is this one right over here. For this analysis, the final take profit was literally right at the spot. The market just missed the final take profit with a few pips. we just got up to this level that you guys are seeing. So that's what you want to notice when you are analyzing, right? Always wait for these confirmations and not take the shortcuts like what I did here, right? I would have, instead of jumping into the second trade, right, depending on this previous analysis that I had, I should have waited for the market to entirely break out of this particular range, which it did break out of it, but to the downside, showing me that the sellers were in control. And then right now we have gone back to a really good spot that I had my eyes on, and I think I don't know if I would want to attempt it again since it's a Friday, but then we'll just see how it reacts in this particular area, right? You can already see that it's probably just coming back to retest the support level that it had formed in the past. So I want to see if that is going to stand, and also this is also on a larger time frame, so it might take a minute to materialize. We also have the low, a higher low, and this low should not break out of this level here. So if I ever attempt a trade, I'll probably put my stop loss right below this zone and then just want it to push right back. But considering the fact that it's a Friday, I might just not do that. So right now I am ready. We're going to just play another tennis match and I'll take you guys along. Yes, hopefully I'll take you guys along. But anyway, that's it and done. Also, yeah, I was looking at the history because I was trying to journal my trades right now, and then I figured I had another trade on Bitcoin. So for Bitcoin for this particular week, I actually did not make a single dollar, as you guys can see right over there. I made profit on Bitcoin and then I gave it right back to the market, right? So I had two trades. I attempted three trades. I attempted again to jump into the Bitcoin trade, then the market crashed down on me. So on Bitcoin this week, I literally did not make any profit though. But then on gold and on NASDAQ, you remember guys, the NASDAQ trade that we had, which was an absolutely beautiful sell. That was the only trade that I had that was a sell, obviously in a long time focus. All right, you guys can see that, right? That was an absolutely good move on the NASDAQ. The trade went all the way up to $6,000 profit, but because of the rules that we have, we did not close the trade. Then we had to wait for it to take us out with the stop loss, which is a really good trade. So I had two trades on, which were good. Two trades on NASDAQ, a sell, on gold, a buy. The second attempt on gold went bad, and a trade that I took by myself on Bitcoin also went bad. So it's pretty much a break-even week, right? Pretty much. Not really, but pretty much. Right, so let's just see how the rest of the day plays out. Right now, let's just go and enjoy more of Nigeria, and then I'll see you guys when probably, let's say, oh, I have a live session today with the silver group. So we're going to do a live session. We'll see if we can try and scalp anything in between. And then if not, then we'll call it a week. And then probably we'll just learn a thing or two. Then I will probably do the weekly analysis for you guys. But it has been a pretty fun week, actually. The highlight for the week for me was when I was still in Abuja and I went to this amusement park. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, you guys, we're out here at Magic Land and we're about to go and experience their craziest ride. I don't even want to go on any other one, just the craziest one of all. So yeah, let's just go inside right now. Let's check it out. Okay guys, there we go. Here goes that. Oh my god. Oh my god. What's with the oh my gosh. Whoa. I am fucking
Yep, that's me.
Even had my hands up in the sky, could play with me. Let's go. Hey, you guys, the next one. Let's go. I don't think this one is scary though, but yeah, it is what it is. This one is not scary at all.
We tried the wrong ride, guys. It's for kids, but it was super chilled for fresh air. I mean, we were seeing the whole entire view, so it wasn't that bad. So, I mean, yeah, just I give this a 5 out of 10. I don't think I was. Oh my god! I think I won't scream. Let's go. Let's go.
But I'm at least like 2 in. Been thinking in pursuing. I see like through a new lens. It's shaking, that shit moving. Been thinking you should move in.
We give it a 7 out of 10. Nothing too crazy. I told you guys in Abuja, bring me the craziest rides, and this is what you have.
Wow.
This is what you have. Come on.
Wow. We will get you.
Natural vitamin C.
Yeah. It's been a while I had it.
Guys, what the hell is this?
So nice.
These look like mushrooms.
Let's just have the taste.
Oh, guys, look. I found my wuyu in Nigeria. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
I mean, look at how much fun you can have in like how many hours?
I'm telling you. Like a guitar.
Good morning, good people. It's a lovely Saturday morning. As you guys can see, I'm pretty up early because my body is like wasted. I'm beat up. It feels like I got run over by a truck. But yeah, I want to do the weekly analysis right now because yes, of course, it's a Saturday. The market has closed. The market didn't close how I had expected it to, how I had anticipated that it would close. I had given a limit order on US 30. It got triggered and then the market also crashed. Right, so I'll also explain that to you guys. So we're closing off this week as a losing week in the inner circle, which is absolutely okay. It happens sometimes. So I literally gave 3 trades. Let's just say 2 trades because the other one went to break even, and yeah, I haven't yet updated them though. So this particular last trade that you guys are seeing there also just was a limit order. The market triggered it on gold again, and then on US 30, then they just crashed. So right now I'm going to wake up. Going to do the weekly analysis. Not sure if I'm going to play tennis today. But you know, when your body is feeling beat up like this is when you should actually repeat the exercise that you did like the previous one. But yeah, that's just a quick update. Let's just go over onto the charts right now. Let's do this weekly analysis and get it over and done with. Let's look forward for what the new week has in store for us. Okay, so I'm just going to the investing.com website and I'm just looking at something really interesting which was announced yesterday as the market was about to close, as you guys can see, right? So, wow, that is really interesting. So it seems like it's hard to let go of Mr. Powell, right? But anyway, you can see that all of the charts literally were just like really red, right? From the NASDAQ to USD, everything was pretty much just red, as you guys can see right over there. So that's just a crazy part. Let's just look at the economy calendar to see what we are looking for this new week, right? So obviously that is going to be for next week that you guys are seeing here. We have FOMC minutes and then pretty much it. Nothing really exciting for the next week. Monday, Tuesday we don't have news. Friday we don't have news. Just Wednesday and Thursday, which is absolutely just pretty much, I mean, it's going to be a normal week. Let's go over onto the charts right now. Let's see what is happening. So this is the US 30 trade that I was telling you guys about, and you know, we never hide losses here because they are part of the game. So my bias for this is, I already told you guys that we had broken out of this area. In fact, I was anticipating the break from this level here. I even shared it in the free channel. If you're in there, go and check it out. I said we were building up at this zone. If we break out, we want to go up to the top, but then we didn't break out at the spot. We retraced back to this level, and then we eventually came back. We did a little build up again, then we eventually broke out. So I was telling the guys that, you know, this is a strategy that you can use when we're building up and then we break out. You might as well just jump into the trade, because remember, we're already in a new area there. The market wants to go back up to the top, but I couldn't catch like the break with the inner circle. So I told them when the market came back, so it had come back to this level, and then we were still here. I think we were right about at the top when I gave them the limit order. I'll show you guys right now on Telegram. So I was anticipating that it would come back and then give us a little bit of, you know, a retest at these levels that it had broken out, because it had already confirmed the bullish movement that it wanted to have, and then it would continue up to the top. So normally when you set limits, that is the risk of trading with limit orders, because you never really get a chance to confirm the trade if the setup looks really good. So you can see it came in, and then I mean, it did move a bit, but then nothing that would totally, like, you know, call for like pips or anything. It just dropped in, and then it went back up a bit, tried to retrace from the zone, but the sellers were definitely in control, and they caused it to continue crashing. So that is the reason why we ended up taking an L on that particular trade. But anyway, let's start by deleting that and already start with the analysis on US30. Let's clear everything that we do not need. Right, so currently we're already seeing, by the type of candles that we're having, we're almost like having a battle really between the buyers and the sellers, because we have such a big push, then the sellers step in aggressively. We have a push again, then they're stepping in aggressively. But then if you notice, one thing for sure is the buyers are creating highs, and highs, right? And then they have a low, right? So this particular low should maintain the level where it is right now, so that it respects the structure. That is exactly what it is showing you, in as much as, yes, the buyers and the sellers are in control. Both of them are in equilibrium right now. If you're looking just at candles, but you can see that the buyers are definitely in control. If we're looking at structure, right, they have been pushing the market to the top aggressively, and they are creating beautiful structure as they move up to the zones, right? So obviously I am still very much biased to the bull side of things. Let me see if, you know what, the funny thing is, I think instead of taking this as a low, we can use this one as a low right here. So we have a low, and then the one that it wants to create here might just be the second low. Why did I say that? Because we do have a resistance area that we haven't. Why did we retested it the first time here? You see it, right, which is now support. So it broke out of this area, turned it into support, and the market has a chance of coming back to retest that zone. So we might just want to say that, yes, it might come in the zone and retest it before it's looking for support to push up back to the all-time high. It did step into the area which is right over here, as you guys can see. Then we are anticipating that it goes back up to the all-time highs, right, as simple as that. So that is the analysis that I'm looking at on US30 right now. What I always want to do when the sellers are dominating the market is to wait for them to calm down first. So they should first find support, and it doesn't really make sense for us to say that support is right at this level. This is a beginner type of entry, right? It's not something that you would actually want to use, because you know that these are equal lows that we're having there. A lot of beginners are buying in this particular level, and then their stop losses are right at the zone. Why do I say that? Simply because, I mean, a lot of people are right now actually analyzing the market as we are doing, and a lot of people are seeing this particular area, and they're saying that we are at a support zone. And there's no doubt that it might just reject over this level and go back up. But then for me, it has quite a number of touches. So I think that because it's so obvious, the market might just want to break out of it to take out the stop losses of the people before it moves up in the direction. So instead of looking for a buying entry right at the spot, I would want to look for it when it comes back to the second support, after it has taken out liquidity right at this particular zone. So that would be my bias on US30. Or in fact, if we just give like proper structure here, you know, something like a bullish momentum candlestick, and then it engulfing one day we break out of it. Like, let's say we come there, then we now break out of that area, confirming that the buyers are indeed in control, who will buy it probably in that zone with our stop loss right here after they have left this area here with no chance of turning back again, right? But then I highly doubt that would happen. I think that anything can still happen in the market, but then the buyers, using just the bias of the fact that this area is a liquidity zone, we might just see USD buying off of this zone later on, right? That's pretty much it on USD. Let us go over on to the NASDAQ, which we did not have a single trade on the NASDAQ with the inner circle. What I did was I traded this, was it this? Or yeah, I traded this sell, remember, and I said I would explain it to you guys. And you know, the funny thing, what I actually like about this is it is exactly what I am explaining on US30. Look at that. That's exactly what I just said on US30, where the market was having these equal lows right over there, if you guys are noticing it, right? And then the market was there. And then this area here looks like a support zone, right? A lot of retail traders will be seeing it as soon as the market comes here. They want to actually just jump into the trade, right? And then they want to buy it. But then that doesn't happen. Also, for my confirmation, it was building up right at that zone once it did that. So when I saw that, I immediately just jumped right at the resistance area, at the support area, whatever, right, into a selling trade. And then this is exactly how it looked. Then because of the support area that we're seeing right at the zone, remember, if I explain these things to you guys as simple as possible, you should understand them, right? Remember, when it gets to a support or to resistance level, two things are supposed to happen in the market. You can clearly see we got to the support area, then the two things happened. It got to this level, it got rejected. It could have broken out and continued down. So it got to this level, it got rejected. That's the same thing that we had on our US30 trade, right? We got to a resistance area where we were in a buy, we got rejected, we dropped back down. So these are things that you should always anticipate. Never say that, oh, I am thinking that the market would go to 25,000, or if you're trying to predict the market to say, oh, gold will hit 6,000. The market will do whatever it wants when it gets to resistance or support zones. It will either break out of it or it will retest. That is just a fact. So when we got to this level, it retested this area and then it failed to break out of it. It got rejected and then it went back down. So I was obviously supposed to be trading my profit. When the market is giving you profit, you should be able to maximize. Then when it was now dropping, I left the trade. That is when I was telling you guys that a good dancer knows when to leave the stage. So that is the bias. When you see liquidity zones like this, make sure you take advantage of them, which is what I did on the NASDAQ. So looking for a trade for this particular week won't be very difficult at all. As we are saying, it's no longer just that crazy push that we're having. Just look at this. Just look at NASDAQ though. NASDAQ can really misbehave sometimes, right? So I am still looking at this particular area, this whole entire zone there, for possible retest. But then let's see if we go on to a lot different, if that is a proper area. Well, it just did reject one or two times. Let's see on the hourly time frame then for something that actually makes way more sense. So you can see that, yes, this is the place where the market has been creating support, right? So it came to this area, it also came to that area. So that's pretty much the place that we have support. Can we draw a trend line though on this? Because you know me, I always like to use my trend lines as much as possible. If we can draw a trend line, we have already broken out of it. And then the sellers are currently then dominating because we have disrespected the structure that it was forming. So would allow the sellers to drop the market into this area. Then would start using that as a point of interest for now, right? That is the only one that I have. Then the second one would be somewhere around about this zone. So would attempt to buy NASDAQ in this area when the market comes there and gives us good price action here. And then if it breaks out of the zone, I will still be monitoring. We don't just jump blindly into the trade. If you jump in with a limit order, that is when you would see that, you know, you're at risk of just entering without having confirmation, right? So let's just see if that happens. Let's go over onto the 4-hour time frame and see what kind of zone that is. All right, so you can see. And for better stop losses, you always go onto a larger time frame to see if the market is giving you a better entry. You see, so we are at that level. We'll break out, we'll come here, and then probably our stop loss will be somewhere around about this zone. Then for the second entry, our support area is not really here, but then right there, because that is where the resistance was. So it will be like this. Then that'll pretty much sum it up for the NASDAQ, what we'll be looking for this current week, I don't think that would be very, very difficult. A simple rejection that we would want to see in that particular area. Let's go over on to gold. Okay, on gold. Right now, I was looking at this level on gold, but you can clearly see that it got disrespected. The market broke out of it and closed outside of it, which is why I did not give a re-entry on gold with my inner circle, because it was also the close of the week, so I really wouldn't want to do that. But what I'm more focused on is this particular candle that we're having there. This particular candle for me really indicates something very important. It shows me that the market has a lot of strength in this area, right? It's a good support area, and the market, why would it ever reject with such a big week, right? So because of that, I would be looking at that particular zone, right? So I would mark it up like this. That is the zone that I'm looking at, and I would just relax and say that I would want gold to come into that zone before I look for any other buying positions, or for it to come and break out of that level before also I look for any other buying. So that's my bias. I want it to come up back to that zone. I wouldn't want to just buy it in this area because it has already been disrespected. So it has to just move back up, break out of the zone, show me that it wants to come out of this range that it has. Or if it fails to do that, because either or, right, the market has to move up or down, right? So if it comes to the top, it should break out of here first before I can look for an entry. If it doesn't, though, come to top and just drops out, it should reach somewhere in these areas so that I can look for another entry because of this zone, because that is where my support area will be. So on gold, that's pretty much what I will be looking for. I don't think that would be very complicated to follow, right? It won't be actually complicated to follow. It's just pretty simple and straightforward. It's just the patience. A lot of people are always taken out because of the patience. That's the difference between traders that win and the traders that don't, right? It's the patience game. So we do also have another zone that has been creating here. You can see these little range also right there. If we break out of this area, then pretty much supporting the sellers, it will drop back up. We'll break out here of the top of the range, then we might just want to see it coming back to that zone, right? But for a better confirmed entry, we have to break out of that zone. And Bitcoin, now just look at that. Just after I thought that we would be pushing up to the top on Bitcoin, going in good profit. Look at that. We even hit, like, how much is that? Almost 80. Yeah, we did hit $82,000 on Bitcoin, and then it just did its usual thing of crashing right back down. So I did get quite the trades. Oh yeah, I did get quite the trades on Bitcoin, you guys remember. And then I did enter again, and then I gave it all back to the market, right? So let's just see. Why do I have 17 drawings on Bitcoin? All right, so I noticed what is happening. Actually, really good. So we are broken out of this resistance zone. We turned it into support. Right now, the market is coming back to retest that support area. We do have another support area in this particular zone. We can draw a trend line at the same time that looks like this, showing us that the sellers have broken out. You know, the funny thing is, a lot of traders, they never want to admit that the trend line is not supporting them, so they always want to force it like this. You had never ever draw a trend line on a candlestick that is still moving, right? Make sure you draw it with one that have already formed, not at current market price, right? So the trend line would look something like this, right? And the showing us that has been disrespected. Right now, it is just at the support area, and then you know, I would probably want it to drop back to the next support, which is right at the zone, before I think of looking for an entry on BTC. So that is my bias. I'll be looking to buy Bitcoin in this particular level right over there. It has already shown me that it wants to go back up to the top. So yeah, not complicated as usual. All of our charts look really good. I'll be looking forward to trading Bitcoin. Yes. USD, if we only break out of that zone. NASDAQ. Yeah, not really though, but then, like, because since it's at all-time highs, and then gold still has a long way to move. So Bitcoin and USD will be the ones that I have my eyes on for this week. But if you did enjoy the video and you found the breakdown helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. Before me with that, it's been Tino, and I'll see you guys in the next lit video. Love you guys.